Okay, in this video I'm going to show you how you can mark up a DWF file. So this would be if you received a DWF, maybe you're an instructor or maybe you work at a company where you're going to redline someone's drawing. This is how you would mark up their DWF. When you open up the DWF, it's going to open in Autodesk Design Review. That is something that you can download from Autodesk's website. If we click on the Home tab, this is where it kind of came in. This is what it looked like when we first opened it. I'm going to click here to the tab that says Markup and Measure. And this is so easy and this is so cool. Look, you can just come up here and maybe do this one and we can bubble in a certain area. I'm just drawing a window, holding my mouse. I'm holding my left mouse, still holding it down, and I release it here. Once I release it, then I get this little window here. And this just lets me come in here and click where I want it to go and type your comment here, whatever it is you want to say right there. So you can keep going. We can keep adding those things in, like maybe you should say that dimension, center that dimension, or you know, I'm just making up stuff here. This is not me really redlining this drawing, but maybe you should say, you know, say something about hidden lines here. So you can come in here and mark this up just like you would with a red pen. You're just going to circle the area, type in your note, whatever feedback you need to have. You can also come in here and do text. So maybe my text, I'll just put it right here. And when I'm doing text, I do have an option up here for color and size. I pretty much stick with a 10-point font when I'm marking drawings up. But I'm in the text command. You can type whatever text you want. So let's say this printed in black and white. This should be plot in monochrome, or you know, whatever it is that you need to say. So you can put whatever text you need in here. One really cool thing that you can do is you can actually check the length. So this thing is supposed to be 6 inches. I'll click here and I will click here and it tells me approximately, it puts that little tilde in there, but it tells me it's approximately 6 inches. This is a great way to get in here and check to see that the drawing was done correctly. What's awesome about that length feature is it's not checking the length on the sheet of paper. It actually is checking the length of the drawing itself before it was scaled down to whatever viewport scale we used to get it to fit on this page. So that's giving the true dimension of that. If it were an architectural project and you were doing a house that was 25 feet, had a 25-foot wall, that dimension would say 25 feet. So that's one really great thing about it. Other things that you can do, not that you would need this on this project, I'm just showing you different things, ways you could mark things up, but if I needed to draw a line, it kind of lets you snap to endpoints, maybe from here to here. Not that you need a line there, I'm just showing you how you can draw some things, but there's lines. You can draw shapes in here. There's all kinds of stuff that you can do. I love this. There's stamps. You can put in a little stamp. So maybe you need to say, I'm always tempted to put rejected in there, but I never have. So maybe you need to say for review or preliminary, approved or something like that. The way that I do this is when students send it to me, I usually don't put a stamp on it to begin with, but I'll put a stamp on it when I give them their final grade. It'll say final. I'll put that stamp on there and they can see their grade, and that just lets them know we're not going back and forth about this anymore. That's your final grade for this project. But you could always put, if it's a red line and students are allowed to go back and you know, make some corrections, then you could click here for review maybe, and then you just click there and you can set it down. If it's too big, you can always scale it to be smaller or bigger. But there you go. So you could send that back to a student and say, well, this is for your review. This is your red line. Go make these changes. And then resend another DWF once you've made those changes. A couple of things that I want to show you. So this is how you mark it all up. But when you look over here, if I click on type your comment here, look, it highlights this. I have a list of all of the markups that I've done. It has the label. The label is what I typed in here. You can also put a new note. So if you want to communicate back and forth about a particular markup, like for example, this line, I drew a line in here. There's no words for it, so there's nothing at all here. Maybe I'll put a note down here that says, just kidding. You know, whatever the note is, but you can communicate with the person who has been working on this. So who's going to view it, who's going to make those changes. You can put notes back and forth. So that's it. I'm going to go ahead and save this copy. And when I save it, I always save as and give it a different name. That way, as the instructor, when I'm marking it up, I have the original copy that they sent me, plus I have my markup copy on top of that. So I always save as and just give it a different name. So I'm going to come over here to the green D for design review, and I'm going to say save as, put it in the same place, but redline bracket. Let's say saving it. It's going to save it as a DWF. Just go ahead and say yes, save, and that's it. We've just marked up a DWF. So as an instructor or as the person who has just redlined this DWF, now we would send back that DWF electronically, however it is that you're going to do it electronically. You can email it or upload it or put it in Blackboard or whatever, Google Drive, whatever way you guys decide to do that. But however it is that you're going to send this electronic file back to them, they will get it back electronically, and they will see the markups and the red lines that they need to do. They will see their grade if you put their final grade on here. So all right, the next video I'm going to record is going to cover, once it's been marked up and sent back to the student, the next video is going to show what the student can do to load that markup back into their drawing. So again, all of this is stuff you would not be able to do with a PDF, and so that's why we tend to use a DWF file when possible when we're working with AutoCAD. So stay tuned for the next video to see how to make these changes and load it into your drawing.